We should be live.
What's up, y'all? Nobody's out there yet. I get it.
Yeah, probably not. Welcome to the podcast. We're just starting this. I don't know why my camera's glitching, but we're here.
We're just gonna try and deal with it for a while.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Oh, yeah, we're on there.
Yep, I just got the notification.
Yeah, we're popping, pop, lock, and dropping.
Everybody doing good tonight?
I didn't get the notification, but I guess I'll wait on it. It don't matter.
So, if you're just tuning in, it's gonna be our Friday night podcast with Mr. Boombox Mike himself,
What's up, y'all?
Mark Woods 212.
What's going on, y'all?
So we was talking earlier, me and Boombox was about some topics for today, and we was thinking about doing some stuff on, and we haven't really talked to you about it yet, Marcus. I know we just got on the video with you and stuff, but OFC wire versus CCA versus welding cable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when's the right place to use what type of wire?
Because I'm not trying to say that CCA is like a no. It's not like taboo or anything. You gotta realize the capabilities of the wire.
Right, and I agree. You know, I had
Like,
one of my first setups that was, actually pushing some power. I had a SFB 5K on a couple EVL 15s, and I was running all CCA sky high wire, and it worked out just fine. It really wasn't until I got up to the 8,000 watt mark when I started noticing like heat transfer through the CCA, and then when I switched to OFC or welding cable, which is what we all use now is welding cable, but when I first started switching to that, I noticed that the temperature of the wire itself was a lot lower because the current could flow through it a lot better.
mm.
Now, do you gain dBs from switching from CCA to OFC or welding cable? I mean, I guess you could.
I can't I can't vouch because I've done it before. When I switched in the Edge from CCA to all welding cable, I didn't gain. Matter of fact, I actually lost like half a dB somehow.
I feel like the only way that you would actually gain is if you was bottlenecking the hell out of your system with CCA. If you was running a 12K like what I have and was running one run of CCA and then took that out and put a couple runs of welding cable or OFC in there, I think you would notice a little bit of a gain on the dB. Your bass would probably be a lot cleaner as well, and you probably wouldn't clip half as much either.
That's what I was gonna say. Uh, I can see it helping a clipping issue because you have, like you were saying, the bottleneck of the power.
Yeah.
But maybe not increasing dBs. I mean, there's probably somebody out there that's gonna say we're wrong, but
Yeah, I mean, I watched Jerry's video when he talked about switching from CCA to OFC. And I think that was when he was running the Tar Amps MD8Ks.
I think he was on the 8Ks at that point.
Yeah, and he said that, he switched out and didn't gain anything.
Well, and here's another flip side to that. What's that dude that he hangs out with? It's got Midwest window tint.
Oh,
Duck.
yeah, Duck.
I can't think of his real name, but Midwest window tint. We'll shout it out again. Whatever. That whole Trailblazer build was DS18 CCA,
Yeah, I remember that.
and he had zero issues, and it's because he knew the limits of his wire. Yeah, he had Oh gosh, I'm thinking like 8 runs from the front to the back, but
Right. Yeah.
that you gotta. For one, the Trailblazer's pretty long, and in my opinion, CCA starts running out around 20-25 feet.
Yeah. Yeah, if you got to have big long runs of it, like if you got a big van or something like that, dude, if you're running more than a couple thousand watts, I don't know, man. You're going to have to double up on them power wires. You might as well just spend the money and get the OFC, and you could run less runs of the
You
OFC
can
and
run
get the
less
same
runs, I
amount of,
think.
yeah, get the same amount of current. Now, I was talking to you last night, Marcus. You said you run all welding cable in your Malibu, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now,
Oh yeah, yeah.
did you run OFC or CCA wire before, or
It was OSC though, but I have ran CCA before though, not in the Malibu though.
in the
But it's been in
Jeep,
the
or
probably been in the black Kia.
oh, the
I haven't
black kit?
ran I haven't ran CCA wires since then.
When you was running the CCA wire, was it what amplifier was you running? Do you remember?
Um, Probably the Rockville 3000, and maybe in the Soundstream 2000.
So it probably did just fine on that power with that type of wire
Oh,
then.
yeah, it did. Yeah,
Yeah.
I noticed a couple of times it was burning up the front, but that probably could have been for me, man. I base real hard, man.
Oh, did you like run into a problem where the fuse holder was getting hot, or?
Yeah, when it was at the end about a fuse, yeah, it
Yeah,
was getting black, burnt, and all that.
Yeah. Now,
I
Start
kind
burning
of
inside
remember
the
that. I remember
wire.
the video on that now.
and you know
Now
what?
that it's brought up,
That tends to be a really touchy subject, especially on like base heads on a budget. Because everybody in that group is experts. But
It could have been my fault though.
right,
I was
yeah.
just starting really, man, like I say, I never really cared about clipping. Everybody knows that, but
Well,
right?
if you post your burned up connector on base heads on a budget, you say, "Oh, my fuse holder burned up. What am I doing wrong?" You're gonna have a million people on there saying, "Oh, you shouldn't be doing car
It shouldn't be.
audio.
Yeah,
You don't know what the hell you're doing, and this and that." And it's like, you
it's
know,
because you're using CCA wire,
yeah, and you
and
know,
it's not.
I know just as well as you guys do. We've been doing this for a long time now. We know how to put lugs on a damn wire. We know how to make sure that it's secure to the fuse holder and stuff like that. Now,
You guys, please hold on. You guys, please stop putting the lug on the ground and just smashing it with a hammer.
yeah,
Just
we've been
please
talking
stop.
about that all day.
You can go to Harbor Freight. You can go to Harbor Freight. You can get one off eBay for. Look one up real quick, Jordan. What are they?
Yeah.
$40.
You want me to
what's that?
look up a
Look up
hydraulic
a hydraulic
crimper?
crimper
Okay.
Shoot,
because
probably a
I
good.
think you can use that in more places than you can use one of the long ones.
I'm
You
about
know
to
what
say
I'm
probably
saying?
about $20.
Yeah.
I mean, I bet you could get one off Temu or Wish for about 10. And what I do like about at least the Harbor Freight one is the Harbor Freight kit comes with, I think it's a 16 gauge die. It might even go to 18 gauge, all the way up to 0 gauge. That's included in the kit.
Yeah. Here's one Amazon link here. What we got? Stainless steel cable railing kit, hardware system fittings with cable cutter.
With cable
$48.89.
cutter. There you
Yeah.
go.
It comes with the hydraulic crimper. Comes with all the different dies to do any type of crimping that you need, any wire. And it comes with, dude, these look like a nice set of wire cutters here.
So let's look at it in reality. So it's easy to get an Amazon code. Let's say you can get 5% off of that. Let's say you can get that, that's worth the one run of wire that you're going to burn up from just hammering that lug down.
Yep.
And then, if you're wanting to even go cheaper, I personally like using this one right here. It's called the iCrimp cable lug crimping tool for heavy duty wire, blah blah blah. But it's $25, and it's got
Is it one of the long handled ones?
yeah, the blue ones, and
Yeah.
it's got everything built into it. All the dies are in a I mean, if you're watching, you can see what I'm talking about, chat.
That's the
But
one. That's the one click.
yeah, yeah, it clicks over and yeah, it's got the
Isn't
blue
that what
arms
you
on it.
have, Marcus?
Yeah, I got one, but I still like the hydraulic better though.
And if you don't have money for that, there's even a cheaper one. And that, you know, we've all used this one before. Let me see if I can find it. It
What are you looking
basic,
for? A slap
yep,
crimper?
yep. So here's one
Yeah.
for $13. So you basically, and the picture does it perfect justice. You put your lug, slide the hammer up, put the lug on there, put your wire in, and you take your regular hammer and you give it a couple smacks and it crimps the lug. And it does just as good as anything else as long as you prep everything right and you do it the way it's supposed to be done. That shit like Boombox Mike said, where you just put your lug in the wire and set it on the concrete and start beating the shit out of it with a sledgehammer or your, you know, drywall hammer or whatever. Dude, that stuff does not hold. It may hold for a little bit, but it's going to come loose. And then if it doesn't come loose, where it's not a good solid connection, it's going to build up heat in that spot. And you
Yeah,
know,
and once you start, here's the other problem with it. Like, okay, so when I used it in the car, it seemed like obviously it was shorter runs, but when I used it in the car, it didn't seem like the ends corroded as bad. When I used it under the hood, it seemed like the ends corroded. And I've always wondered if that wasn't from like not having a good connection in there. So like, you know how we all do maintenance, we got to go through and check all our lugs and our fuses and, just give the nuts and bolts a shakedown.
yeah.
With the CCA wire, just keep an eye on it. If you see the end of it corroding, it's time to cut the end off and redo it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just let it ride out and be all crusty.
Yeah, that's a big one with CCA wire. That's another good topic on, you know, should you use CCA or OFC. With OFC, you're not going to have that problem. Yeah, you're going to get a little bit of corrosion and it's going to turn green, but that's what copper does whenever the air gets to it or when you touch it.
And that's what Coca-Cola's for.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It'll
cold.
come right off of there.
You dump a little Coke on the end of it, it'll come right off.
But yeah, like Boombox was saying, man, you know, that shit ends up corroding with the CCA. And I've cut into CCA wire before, changing out a system, and couldn't believe the stuff that come out of there. Like, I was able to take the lug and actually rip it right off of the end of the wire. And it was dust. It looked like sawdust coming out of there.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and bring up a sore topic while we're on that.
Yeah.
So, in my car, what did we find on my ground side? That piece of DB drive wire.
Oh, yeah.
That said OFC on it.
Yeah, there was about, I'd say, 2 or 3 feet that the whole shielding of the wire turned a different color from where it was supposed to be OFC or
it wasn't.
Yeah, who knows? But when we found that shit, we knew right away this shit ain't no OFC.
You could bend it like this, Marcus, and you could feel it like I don't even. It'd be like if you had sand in a straw. It'd be like if you had sand in a straw and was bending back and forth. Like you could feel the wires breaking.
Yeah, I know how I feel. It don't feel good.
And like Jordan was there helping me work on my shit, and I was like kind of embarrassed because that was DB drive wire. I paid good money for that wire.
You know, and sometimes, we've all seen it. Sometimes these companies will put OFC labeling on their wires just to be able to sell them at a premium.
And then just hope that somebody don't get mad and send it back.
Yeah. One of the easiest ways that I've learned how to tell if OFC is actually OFC compared to CCA is, if you got a 3-foot piece of OFC that's pure copper, and then you got a 3-foot piece of CCA, which is aluminum. It's copper-clad aluminum. It's basically aluminum wire that's shielded in copper. So if you have 2 of the same exact size pieces, same gauge, everything's the same except for one's OFC and one's CCA, the OFC is going to weigh about 20 times the weight of the CCA. That CCA is going to feel really light because it's aluminum. And copper's like 10 times heavier than aluminum is. So, I mean, just take the wires and give you a little
You can just
gauge
feel
test
the
there.
difference.
Yeah, you usually can feel a difference right away. When Boombox turned me on to the welding cable, dude, the first time he gave me some of that, I was like, damn, I don't know why everybody's not using this stuff. I personally think that welding cable is better than any of these high end, I don't want to throw any bad names out there or anything, but, Sky
Right.
High and all these other companies that, and yeah, they
Mm-hmm.
have good
Viper
wire.
Sound.
It's good wire, and I'm not hating on it at all. But, dude, go down to your welding shop and holler at the guy that uses 600-700 volts every day of welding power. Get some of his wire, because that stuff is really good, man.
It's I like it, and I get it. It's not as flexible.
Right.
It has its limitations. Um, you can't tie it in a knot, but man, and some of these new cars where you're trying to have to push through the firewall and the boot, and then the other side of the boot and the seal, and then through the other side of the firewall, and then up through the brake line or behind the boot. Sometimes it's nice to have that stiff piece of wire.
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
like it better that way too. I mean, don't get me
I
wrong. I
like it.
like, we all like the flexible stuff. It feels good and it's easy to work with and stuff like that.
It's always
But
got cool jackets on it too.
yeah, and it's always got the cool jackets on there, and for aesthetic reasons, it looks a lot nicer. But I like the heavy dutiness of the welding cable as well. Like me and you was talking about, Mike. You can, if you gotta take a run and s it around up into the amp, when you don't have to put fasteners there to make it stay. You bend it to the way that it needs
You,
to be, put it in the amp, and it just stays there.
it stays in that, maybe not that exact shape, but it'll hold its form for the most part.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hell yeah,
And
Yeah, I noticed
and
that.
we're not trying to say it's not flexible. It's flexible. You can bend it, maybe not 90 degrees, but I bet you can bend it 70 degrees, no problem.
It's
yeah,
flexible enough.
It's flexible enough, exactly. And then
yeah.
you got the argument, car audio has, 5,000 strands for 1/0.
Right.
I think most of them's like 3,000 or 3,500. What did we look up on the Timco the other day? Do you remember?
Oh, the strands. I can't
Yeah,
remember. It
wasn't it
was
low 2,000s?
Yeah, it was like right around the same mark. But then, like me and you was saying when we was talking about it, that Timco, each strand, the Sky High or the other stuff may have more strands, but in the Timco or your other type of welding cable, each individual strand is going to be twice as thick as any of these other fine strand OFC stuff like that. And I think that's why it holds its shape a little better. And I
It is, and that's why the stereo shit's so flexible.
yeah, and I
And
personally, for like putting lugs and shit like that on, you putting your lugs on the wire, I like using the welding cable. It's easier to work with, I personally think.
I feel like when I do the welding cable, it bites, and when I do the
Yes.
car audio cable, it crunches.
Yeah.
And
Have
maybe
you
it's just because I'm using. I mean, I'm just using all that VFL American Bass 100%, but I don't know. It just seems like it don't. It wants to crunch instead of like bite.
Yeah. Have you ever noticed with, and this is, I know that there's a lot of different brands that people have this
I
issue
never
with,
noticed that.
but I've noticed it with tar amps, with almost every amp they've ever put out. Their grub screws, like the set screws for when you put your wire in, like your zero gauge, that
Yeah,
screw, sometimes you can screw that screw in so far that it doesn't bottom out is the problem. Is
it falls out.
it
Yeah,
goes straight through the hole and falls out. If tar amps would make their grub screws a quarter of an inch longer, they would bottom out without sliding out the
without
bottom
falling
of the
out.
hole. And when people use all these different sizes of wire and different brands and all that stuff, it just would make it a lot easier for them if the tar amps company would actually use a little bit longer grub
Just a
screw.
little longer cut
It
screw.
helps it bite, because some of these wires do kind of feel crunchy when you go to put it in there. And then you also have you'll have people in the conversation of, Well, you should use shit. What's the word?
I know it's
Wire ferrules. Sorry, wire
ferrules.
ferrules.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh well, you should always use wire
I
ferrules.
don't like wire ferrules.
I don't really care for them either. I like the
I
ones.
never used them.
I like the smaller ones for like 10 gauge, 12 gauge, even 8 gauge. But when it comes to 4, 2, 0, double zero, and on, I don't like using them metal wire ferrules.
I'm not a fan of them either. Like, it depends on the amp. Like, a lot of the newer amps have them weird angle style
Yeah,
the speaker inputs. I think they're nice for those.
yeah.
But if you don't need them, and before I forget, while we're on this topic, on the set screw thing, can we get a few more threads on that?
Right, that's what I'm saying. That because you run into
Not
problems
on
with
the
them
not on the
stripping out
screw.
on the
Yeah,
actual
on the
body.
amp.
Yeah,
Yeah, they only got like 5 or 6 threads on them. Can we
yeah,
get like 6 or 8 at least? And then that would also help the bottoming out issue.
yeah. And I get it, they're budget friendly amplifiers, but even
Cutting every
high end
corner.
amplifiers, I got a JP amp in there that, and not talking shit on JP. His company has good products and they make great amps and all that stuff. But I have a JP amp in there that does the exact same thing. The damn grub screw will fall right out the bottom.
Yeah, and but the thing is, they're probably saving 6 cents a screw for every screw in that amp.
Right, and
But
it's like,
when you're paying that much money for a JP amp, because they're expensive, dude. I mean, just flat out,
right, yeah,
they're pricey.
yeah, oh
You
yeah,
should be getting. I think you should get better set because I've also heard on the bigger amps that the Allen wrench thing is small for the
yeah,
screw. They said that it should be a little bigger.
yeah,
So, I mean, I've never had a JP amp, so I can't vouch. I can't afford one, to be honest.
yeah.
I don't know if they're. Maybe he'll have a sale on them one day.
Yeah, well, the ones that are more like in our price range that we could afford, stuff that me and you and even Marcus would pay for, it would be great. And I think those are worth the money. But the thing is it's like, okay, so for this much money, you can get a 4300 watt amp, the JP43 or whatever. And it's like, dude, for that same amount of money, we can go holler at the guys at Stetson and get, a Bass Flex 8K. Is the Bass Flex 8K going to beat out the JP43? I think
Yo,
it will.
I know it
I
will.
personally think that it will. Is it a
Some
better
people
amp?
don't think it won't though.
You know what I mean? Is it a better amp? I don't know. You
I
know what
don't
I
know. I've
mean?
never had one to test them, but I know
But
a Flex.
I'm about to say
I
there's
know a
people
Flex
out here
8K will.
that think that
Yeah.
4300 would beat an 8,000 watt amp.
You
Okay,
know,
but even on the dyno, the 43 only did 5600, right?
yeah, it was somewhere around in there, and that's at it's
Or was it
certified run
6300?
power.
It wasn't 6300, was it?
I tell you what, we can look it up real quick. That's what we're here
And
for.
here's my thing that I know for a fact that Stetson 8K is going to pull 7K in a car. I've seen it done.
But you got a
And
lot
for
of J.
and you can't say the price. Oh well, the JP's pulling more power than rated, so it's worth more.
Right. Yeah, let's see what the JP43 did.
No,
And I know,
I'm about to replace my $700 amp.
yeah, putting the big boy power in.
There we go. Here's the ratings that it did. So the JP43 at 4 ohms is rated for 1300 watts. And it did 2227 up to clipping. And on a burst, it did 2209. At 2 ohms, it's rated for 2300. It did 3798 up to clipping and 3756 burst. And then its 1% THD was 3758. And then where it shines is its 1 ohm ratings. So at 1 ohm, it's rated for 4300. At 1% THD, it did 5729. and at up to clipping did 5980, and then on a burst did 7313. You know, and
Wow.
that's at 76% efficiency. It's a badass amp, you know, but for the price of it,
How much is it?
I'll look it up. I think they're
I bet
they're
it's
like,
700 bucks.
yeah, they're like $700 or $800. And you know, that's awesome that a 4300 watt amplifier can burst at, you know, 76% efficiency at 1 ohm and can do 7300 watts. But for that same price, you could buy something else from a different company that can do more power than that. Yeah, it may not be a 4300 watt amp. It may actually be a 8K. But
Or
what's the difference?
you just, I mean, so on its best day, it did what, 7?
I'm looking up its zero point 0.8 ohm
So
rating right now. I want to see what it did below 1 ohm.
so I guarantee you, you can go buy 2 Flex 5Ks for that much
Yeah.
and
So
smoke it in ratings.
certified at zero point 0.8, it did.
We're not talking about Marcus.
We talk about
Uncertified zero point 0.8 did 6728.
Damn.
Dynamics 7, let's see, 79. It's still going up. 8K. So
Wow.
0.8 ohms on dynamic power at 14 volts, it did 8K.
It's pretty
but
good.
that's at a burst and in a perfect power situation.
It's doing 7K at
Yeah.
0.67. 7K at
That's
0.67.
like Marcus just pointed out, too. That's also in a perfect world, perfect
Right.
scenario.
Yeah, that's not accounting for ohms rise and all that stuff. That's where them flex amps come in handy, man, because
Right.
they fight
Didn't you
that.
watch that? Didn't you watch
Holy
that video
damn.
just not too long ago?
So at
Well,
0.67, at 14.6 volts, it pulled over 10,000 watts dynamic power boost.
holy cow.
Power burst, sorry. And now he's doing a half ohm. Now, another thing with the JP amps is, you know, Willison Labs, he always does them down to half ohm. And yeah, it busted out 12K at half ohm. But to get your warranty with JP, to play that thing at half ohm, you got to pay extra. I don't think a lot of
Yeah.
people know that. Them amps are not rated for half ohm power. Yes, they can do them. And,
But you better have some power to back it up.
right, you better have the electrical to do it, and the only way you can keep your warranty stuff is JP makes you pay an extra fee on top of the price of the amp to, you know, for you to be able to play half ohm. If something happens to it at half ohm, it's covered.
And I actually don't think that's for all the amps. I think that's only for certain models.
Right, it is.
But like you were saying, who was that dude we just watched the other day with all the flexes in the trunk?
Oh, Soda Pop.
And how much did he clamp off one in a car in reality situation?
On real world power in the car, he was getting 8,800 watts out of each amp.
So how much is a Flex 8K?
I don't
Like
know.
$699. I think they're like $699.
So the JP43 is $774.99.
Just call it $800.
They're usually $12.99 MSRP. So $774.99. And then let's look up the Flex.
Brand new. It just came out.
Yeah, and I've not heard nothing but good stuff about them.
Yeah.
My amp repair guy, he hasn't even had to fix one yet. He had to fix a 3K, a Flex
So
3K.
let's see here. Where are the Flex 8Ks at, dude?
Did they pull them off again, or they sold out?
They may be sold out already. Because I'm on here looking.
Let's see.
They got the Bravo full 8K for $570. That's weird. Where's the Flex?
Oops.
Oh, there it goes. $679 for the base Flex 8K. So it's $100 cheaper, and it's rated at half ohm, too. You can do half ohm up to 2
Uh,
ohms, and it gets its
there's probably
power.
some people out there that don't know what flex is.
So flex is going to be the same thing as if you've heard of the Tar Amps Smart Bass series. Flex is the version of that. So basically, what the Flex amps can do from Stetson is they can do their rated power at half ohm up to 2 ohms. So if it's an 8,000 watt amp, it can do that 8,000 watts at half ohm, at 0.67, at 1 ohm, at 1.5 ohm, all the way up to 2
Now,
ohm.
when you wire it at 2 ohms, though, it's not gonna do like everybody thinks. It's not gonna continue the power rating. It's gonna stop making power at 2 ohms.
Right.
So when you rise to that 2.5 ohms, you're not gonna get anything else. It's not gonna help you at all.
No. No.
Matter of fact, I think they fall on their face after that.
Yeah.
But I think that's more. I think that's more of the EQ curve they have in them. I think they have a really steep. What do you call it? A crossover point.
Yeah, the dB per octave is like 24 dB or something like that. But
Yeah.
another thing though, daggone it, I lost my train of thought. It's the Flex 8Ks. Yeah, I lost my train of thought with that. Man, I had something real important to say about it too. Daggone it.
And we've never seen one of them on a dyno.
Yeah, I
No,
never
cause
seen
they're
one.
brand
No.
new. They're brand new.
Yeah.
So.
Firecracker might do
Stetson, if
one.
you're watching, send one to Wilson.
Yeah.
Pacecracker might do one.
Yeah, Stetson guys, if you're watching this, send one out to Williston Audio Labs. Let's see what that thing does on the dyno. But talking about impedance rise, and you was talking about, it's kind of going to fall off after 2 ohms. But the thing is, you've seen what my car does with impedance rise. I'm wired at about 1 ohm. After rise, I'm right at the 2 ohm range. So, like, if I had them in my car, I'm going to get the max power out of it all the damn time.
All the way through. Yeah, all the
Yeah.
way through your zone.
Yeah. So as long as your impedance rise isn't too crazy, and for the most part, I mean, unless your box is like way too big or way too small or the design is all crazy, you usually ain't going to rise more than a couple ohms anyway.
And let's be 100% honest about it. Being demo people and just wanting to hear music, we don't have to worry about impedance rise as much because we raise and lower, raise and lower. We're all over the place. There's no way
Yeah.
we can really combat it. If you're burping a 1 decimal or 1 frequency and you're just burp boxing your floppy sub and farting through a window, then I can see where impedance rise matters to you because you want to stay at that low impedance throughout that whole 30 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for us, it's hard to fight it because, like, I'm sure we all watch Parker's Basshead. I've watched his meter go up to like 8 ohms before.
Oh, yeah. Many a times.
So how do you fight against that? You just can't.
Yeah, you can't. And that's with him wiring down in the dirt. Dude, I've seen him
He
wire.
wires in the dirt.
Yeah, I've seen him add an extra sub over on the side that's not even anything really to do with his video. He just threw an extra sub in a box over on the other side of the car to be able to wire down even lower. Trying to pull as much as he can out of an amplifier. I guess this would be a decent time to tell you guys about our sponsor. We are sponsored by Big Jeff Audio. I do have an affiliate link. I'll put it down in the comments. Actually, I'll do that right now while I'm on here with you guys. Give me just a second. I should have had this ready from the jump, but
Well, we're still kind of getting used to it.
yeah.
Definitely. Audio K5 is pretty easy to remember, too. Get that
Right.
5% off.
Yeah. So
Shout out Stetson while we're doing sponsorship.
yeah, shout out to Stetson.
JS, hint, hint, hint.
All right, so here we go. So you guys should be seeing that link in the comment section. So if you click on that link and you go in there and you buy anything and you use our affiliate code AudioK5, you're going to get 5% off of your order at checkout, and it helps us out too. So it's a win-win. And Big Jeff is also doing this new thing. I'm still learning about it. It's called Tip Top. So basically, if you have any old phones or computers or any type of electronic stuff, you can go when you go on there and click the link and go through there, click on Tip Top. It's really cool, man. So if you have any old stuff that you're just trying to get rid of, you can throw that in with it. He will
And
literally.
honestly, the pricing on it's good. Like
Yeah.
I've heard that they give you a decent trade-in value for your stuff. This light's driving me crazy, guys. I apologize.
Mm.
Yeah, so with the Tip Top stuff, man, say you're wanting to spend $1,000 on some stuff, and you got a couple old laptops laying around that you don't ever use, or an old iPhone or whatever, you can send that stuff in, and then they'll get a confirmation that they got it, and you'll get a certain amount off of your order at checkout as well. Plus, you can use the promo code with it, AudioK5, and get even more off of your checkout. So, I mean, it's really a win-win situation. So, definitely go and check out Big Jeff Audio and check out the Tip Top.
TikTok.
Yeah, so the affiliate link for Big Jeff is in the comment section. And then the promo code AudioK5. That's AUDIOK 5. Go check it out. Buy you some stuff. Get slamming like the rest of us. We'll see you at Slamology.
Wherever it is.
Wherever it may be.
As long as it's in the Midwest, I'm going.
You know, they say it's going to be in the Midwest. Is it going to be up where Marcus is at? Is it going to be down in Kentucky? Is it going to be in
down by Bass
Ohio?
Junkie.
Where is it going to be? Dude, I've been seeing a lot of shows down in Kentucky. They may end up
I
doing
think
it
it's
down there.
Have you ever been to the Kentucky Dragway?
Yeah. Well, you know I have.
It's just like IRP, man. Only it's
Yeah.
5 times the size.
Yeah.
Because Michigan International Raceway's right over there too, or not Michigan, Kentucky Raceway's right there too.
Yeah.
So they could almost combine the 2 parking lots together.
Yeah. I've heard that it's supposed to actually stay in Indiana, but who knows? You know, that.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll be posting something on it soon, and everybody will either be like,
No.
man, that's fucked up, or I'd say after the new year, they'll probably be posting something about it.
I wish people would leave Denise alone about it. Because she's like, I don't know if you got a chance to meet her, but like she's a pretty cool lady, man. Like she's really down to earth and really mellow. And these people are like giving her a hard time. And she's probably got to make like the biggest decision in the world since she got married.
Yeah, you
Like
know.
she's got to pick the perfect venue, because if she moves it and it ain't the perfect venue and she moves it again, people ain't going to be really happy about that at all.
You remember right after Slamology, there was something about, damn, dude, I can't even remember what it was. There was something going on in, like, Australia or Antarctica or something weird, dude, and the Slamology had something to do with it. And
They're
everybody
sponsoring something.
yeah, everybody was on there like, that's fucked up, man.
Yeah, because they don't read,
It's like,
morons.
dude, pay attention to what you're reading, man. They're just sponsoring somebody
They're just
over there.
sponsoring.
Did they
Yeah,
say why
I
they
think
moving
it's-
it?
Why
Because they outgrew it.
Yeah.
It was so big last year. Like, I honestly can't believe it didn't get, what's it called when you've got too many people in a venue and the fire department comes in?
Yeah, it gets closed down. Yeah.
I can't believe that didn't happen.
Yeah.
I had, in the 4 years, I went 4 or 5 years. I think I went 5 years. I have never seen, and for anybody that's been to Slam, so you know where we go in the back gate?
Mm-hmm.
They was lined up all the way out past the gas station to get in.
Yeah. Yeah. It was pretty wild, dude.
That's like 10 blocks.
Yeah, for a lot of people, man, that don't really know, a lot of the newcomers, and, you know, I've only been to Slam like 4 or 5 times myself, but I did a lot of research on the show and stuff like that. So they originally started out at the state fairgrounds out there, and they just had a little area where they did their car audio and car show. And then eventually it got big enough that they was like, damn, we're going to need to get our own venue somewhere. And
They got kicked out of the fairgrounds the first year. Not the first year, but when they decided to move, they got, from my understanding, they got asked to move because it got too loud.
Oh, okay.
And it was effect because where it's at there is a residential place that's just like right behind it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm pretty sure my understanding where they were asked to move.
Yeah, from what
Can
I read is they was doing it there, and then it got too big too quick, and they had to find an actual venue to start hosting it, and they went over to the Lucas Oil Raceway where it's been at for all these years, but it originally started out there, and they were only filling up the racetrack, the circle racetrack that's out there, like right behind where me and you always
yeah,
park, where the hill goes up and over. There's a
yeah, they were
racetrack in
barely
there.
filling the infield,
Yeah, they was barely even filling that up, and then
and that's only a quarter midget. I think that's only a quarter midget mile track.
yeah, it's a small it's a
It's a
small
small
one.
track.
Yeah, it's I don't even think
Um,
it's a whole mile circle.
I mean, let's be honest. Why couldn't they hold it at Indianapolis Motor Speedway? Is it because it's right in downtown?
Maybe I don't know. I mean, who knows? They may be moving it
Yeah,
to
they may
there
do
for
that.
all we,
Yeah,
who the hell knows, man.
who knows? But I mean, it's obviously big enough. It's probably big enough just in the parking lot.
Yeah, they definitely grew that place out in the past 15 years,
I mean,
man, and
stayed in the town. That won't be a bad thing.
yeah,
Um, Michigan International Raceway. That's a
yeah.
great place to hold it too. I've been there.
Yeah, that's a little far for us to drive, but I mean,
I'm
I would
going
still.
though.
Yeah,
That's only barely out of the range. If I have to, I'm renting a U-Haul and a trailer.
I mean, hell, me and my wife, we drove all the way down to damn Knoxville, Tennessee, to do that XS Power Show, and it was like 108 degrees out there. We forgot to grab ice before we actually went out there. Our cooler was dry. We was burning the hell up. Shout out to the homie Adrian. He ran up on us, and he ended up showing us where to get some ice and stuff. We hung out all day and got to do some demos and have a good time. But man, it was hot out there, but it was definitely worth it. So, like, if you love going to Slamology and love everything about it, the XS Power Show is almost exactly like it, but all your favorite people that you like, that you want to get demos from and shit, you ain't got to sit there and wait in line for it, because it's just a totally different atmosphere. There's not as many people out there.
Not as many people.
Yes, but it's still a big packed venue. It's just not as crazy as Slamology. So, it's definitely a lot more fun. Like, I got videos on the channel here of me getting into Duncan D's Nuts build. And I've been seeing that thing for the past 4 years out at Slam, and I just never had to, had the
You got to wait
patience.
in line for
Yeah,
it.
it's like you got to wait in line for an hour in the heat to get in there and get the wind knocked out of you. It's like, shit, man. But I was able to hop right up in that thing and get demos of it and talk to him and get to look around the build and see what it actually consisted of, and so on and so forth. And dude, that's the craziest demo I've ever had. I've been in some pretty decent builds, man, that take the breath out of you. This
Yeah.
thing, man, when he wants to take it out of you, bro, he will take it out of you, man. He was killing it, dog.
Between him and Chris Lee,
Oh man, you had to bring it
those
up.
are those are the two baddest demos I've ever got.
Yeah, yeah. I
But we
remember
won't
that
go
one
into
year.
that because I don't know that story. So let's just stay
Yeah,
off
I
of
don't
it.
know the story either. I'm not even gonna get into it. But I think it was the first year that I met Bass Cat. He had walked over to Chris
Yeah.
Lee and was up in there recording. He's like, "Bro, I'm not tapping out. I'm not tapping out. I'm not tapping out." This dude was not playing when he said he's not tapping out. He
No, he
back
passed.
over to us and was like, "Dude, I passed out in here, bro. They had to pull me out of the car. Check out the video." And in the video, you see his face just go blood red, and he's like,
The phone just hits the ground and is like flopping
"Boom."
around.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that
That's one of
was
those you wouldn't have
insane.
believed it if it wasn't on tape.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was
crazy.
wild.
Yeah, I couldn't believe Jeff made it all the way from California, man. That was awesome.
He got the video on his channel.
Probably.
Did he post it?
I'm sure he did. I mean, that was like 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was a couple years ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, I couldn't believe that. I was like, holy crap, dude.
Okay, we kind of got off topic here a little bit.
You
We was
talking
gonna
about the
try. We
you
was
talking
gonna
about the
try.
line,
Yeah,
but
Do we even have anybody watching?
yeah, there's 4 people watching right now.
Do they got any questions, or do they want to know anything about anything?
Yeah, if you guys are watching and you got any questions or anything like that, put them down in the comments. We're looking on here. We're reading. We like to talk to you guys. I know
We're
that the
kind of new at this. We're trying to
yeah,
figure it all out as we go too. So,
yeah, the channel ain't huge and popping off and all that yet, but we're trying to get it there, man. This
and
is
we
our
appreciate you watchers. We
yeah,
really do.
yeah, we do. We appreciate you guys and
appreciate it.
yeah, for sure. And we're base heads and we love doing this stuff. So if you guys have anything you want to talk to us about, base wise, go ahead and put it in the comments. We'd be glad to talk to you guys about it. Um, moving
And best
forward,
we can. I don't know everything. I'm no
right?
expert, but the best I can do is give you my experiences and what I've learned from like technicians and people that do this that are way smarter than me.
Yeah. But to keep things moving forward, to jump back on topic and stuff, we was wanting to talk about when is it time to upgrade from your lead acid battery in your base car. Do you do it at 500 watts? Do you do it at 5,000 watts? Do you ever do it? Do you just add a bunch of lead acid batteries? What do you do? When do you do it? How do you do it?
Marcus, what's your opinion on the situation?
Uh, I mean, I haven't had a lead acid battery since the beginning of the Malibu. So I changed mine right away. Like, so I already knew I was gonna be putting a system in there. So I mean, I just been told that using the AGM batteries are better than using the lead acid battery, and it's better for suited for systems.
Yeah.
So
Not to interrupt, but how's that light?
huh?
How's my lighting?
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh,
All
cool.
right.
My wife commented on there and said, great content. Learning more about it all. Proud basehead here. Laugh out loud. We love you too, Mama.
Thank you, Reva. I know you're working hard,
Yes, she
and he's
is.
not cleaning the house.
Yeah, I am. I'm cleaning, I promise. See,
So
look,
okay,
I'm not here. I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm cleaning. Nobody can see me.
I think your lead acid batteries are going to be okay if you're only pushing a few hundred watts. We've proved that in the past.
Yeah.
Now, there again, that's going to be, if you're mixing lead acid with CCA wire and, you're not going to, don't expect very much.
Right. Yeah, personally, I feel like, and this is my opinion, if you just want a little bump in the trunk and you got, everything's factory in the car, you don't even care about changing the door speakers or none of that. Everything sounds fine. You just want a little bit of bass in the back. I think that you're going to be just fine up to anywhere from around 800 watts to 1200, and the 1200 is taking it really about to the max, but you're going to
Let's
be
call
okay
that
there.
1200 depending on what kind of amp you buy.
Right, and I'm talking 1200 watts after impedance rise, after real 1200 watts.
Right.
Yeah,
I think you're gonna have a hard time on one lead acid battery on that.
yeah.
That's where you need to go to Walmart, get that 5-year deep cycle marine battery
Hey,
for $89,
I'll be right back in just a second. Stay on the line.
and we'll be here. And I think on that AGM and that lead acid, you're fine for 800 to 1,000 watts.
Hmm.
But I mean, truly and honestly, a lead acid battery don't have a whole lot of reserve. So if you can afford it, you're better off to just go buy a nice AGM battery and stick it under the hood.
Yeah, I wound up getting one real quick on a Kia too. So It's like I just got rid of them every time I had one in the car.
Yeah, me too. You seen where I went and took all that stuff to the recycling center today? All the batteries that were in the back of the van, those are all the lead acid that came out of the Ford Edge when I originally built it.
Hmm.
It was kind of sad to see them go, but they must move on so we can upgrade battery power in the Envoy.
Put more battery power in there and get it going, man. Like you want to see the Envoy go ahead and do what you wanted to do, you know.
Yeah, it'll finally be nice not to sit and stare at voltmeters. You know me, I like to have a voltmeter for everything, every piece of electronics in the car.
Mm.
It'll be nice not to have to worry about it. I think that 90 amp hours of C-Max will handle that 20K just fine.
Yeah, yeah. It'll handle it.
Plus I don't have to worry about the C-Max having to run the mids and highs amps in the car and stuff. It's going to be dedicated just to the sub amp.
I hope the guys are all right out there too. That's watching. But like,
Yeah,
man,
it's
I,
a it's a
I
mess
go,
down there.
huh?
It's a mess down there.
Yeah, like I said, I even I didn't really know nothing about AGM batteries until I came the second time around with the sound system. So I mean, I didn't really know much until I started doing YouTube. It's like YouTube and kind of like taught me everything. It's like kind of like taught me all the new stuff, like getting the extra battery, getting reserve power, and getting the OFC wire and all that. That was just told by people in the Dynamat. So I didn't know nothing about none of that stuff.
Yeah, man. I mean, as long as we're all willing to still learn, I mean, that's the biggest part about it. Like, you can always learn in this hobby. There's always something you don't know.
Oh yeah, it's always something to learn. Yeah.
This light keeps going out. Now it won't turn back on. There we go. Oh, that light's horrible. What's wrong with this flashlight? The flashlight was looking good when it was working.
But we will be hopefully be working on the car this Sunday. Hopefully it don't rain.
I don't think it's supposed to.
If it don't, I just go ahead and, what I'm saying, try to get a little something done. Probably try to take the tweeter box out, and if I get the tweeter box out, then I can rip the radio out real quick.
Yeah, I'm pretty anxious to see you get rid of that radio.
Yeah, it's just like maybe it's just a bad product or something. I'm just hoping on that.
Yeah, well, every company, I don't care what it is, every company is going to have a bad product that goes out here and there.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure there's not a company that's ever had 100% non-failure rate.
but the average person would not recommend for you to go get a DS18 radio. They'll recommend
No, probably not.
like a Pioneer, Alpine, Kenwood, like your main three. That was the old school main three players right there. And I think they
Yeah,
probably still the major ones too.
they're still pretty good major players. Back in the day, I always ran Clarion head units and
Clarion.
Sony Explode. To be honest, the Sony Explode radios always did me great. Especially because back in the day, remember we had to bump around the CD players, and
Mm.
when the bass got too loud, it started skipping that CD.
Yeah, yep.
You know, so like, dude, we tried everything. We tried putting like springs under them and putting pillows under them, and gosh,
Or even to the point some people just had it out of the car and just had a
and just
big
yeah,
wire on it.
yep, I
Like
remember that
I
too.
don't I haven't used a CD in a long time in a powerful system. So
The only thing I've done is watch DVDs in mine.
Yeah. But other than that, man, shoot, it's like a Friday night.
Yeah, I can't see any of the comments or anything, so I
Yeah,
can't
that's what I'm
exactly
saying.
see
I'm
what's
blind
going
to it
on.
right now.
We're
Let
just
me
trying
see
to
if I
carry
can.
on conversation. I'm not sure what happened. Jordan, one of his kids must have needed something. That's the only thing I can figure, because usually he don't bail out of a conversation like that.
I'm gonna see if I can find what's going on, if I can see who's on or not. You know, hopefully
Yeah,
Ryan Bates there.
you could probably go find the comments and just kind of see who's commenting if you got another phone to look at.
Man, I'm about to try to look at it on this one.
Yeah, if I was inside, I could watch it on the TV.
Yeah, we got two watching. Yeah. It's still on though. We still on.
Yeah, that's good.
We still on. Sorry guys.
Who's still watching?
I don't know who's watching. But yeah, it's cool. Like I said, we still on though.
Still appreciate you guys for hanging out. We know this ain't like the
And
best
it
first
at the
run.
same time, it gets saved and people do watch it, you know what I'm saying? They watch the liveness and stuff. So
Yeah, they
but the
might
people
watch it
that's
later.
watching it, we appreciate you. You know, well, yeah.
Um, I don't know. I
So
think we pretty much covered about everything on the wire.
that's the only two y'all had, the only two things
Well,
to talk about.
we kind of tried to make up some background stuff if we needed some time. So I'm going to throw one of those out, and it's on the topic of wire. So we'll talk about fuses. Team fuse, team no fuse. There's kind of a difference between that. You got some people that run their front to back runs with no fuses,
Mm.
which that's up to you. You got people that they only put one fuse in it in the front there off the alternator or the battery, and then they call that good. Got other people that fuse at both ends of that run, which that's the way I like to do it. Now, some people think that because their amp pulls 450 amps that they need 450 amp fuses,
Mm.
which ain't always 100% true. You want a fuse for the wire.
Well, I'm about to say, don't the amp has like a recommended fuse?
Yeah, the amp has a recommended fusing, and then like most of us, you got to divide that up into two wires because most of us run dual inputs to our amps.
Mm.
So you don't want to put, let's say, two 400 amp fuses in there. You would want to put
Okay.
like a couple of 250s or 300s in there because what that's doing is, okay, so when you fuse at both ends, let's say the horrific stuff happens and you're in a car wreck and your power wire gets cut with a piece of car. You know what I mean? A piece of the metal cuts your power wire. Well, at that point, your live power wire is touching metal at both ends. So if
Mm.
you've got a battery in the front and back and you've got a fuse, that fuse is going to blow on both ends. And then that power wire is not going to be live no more. So it can't just melt and catch on fire, or it's safe now.
Mm.
And then you got people like Jordan that fuse like that, but then he don't fuse from his battery bank to his amp.
Mm. Well, you know, like me, I wouldn't. I mean, like me, I don't know what I can say. Like it's
I'm
almost
back.
like a
My
base
bad.
head rule book. The fuse.
You're back, but you're still on. There you come. What up, homie?
Sorry about that.
That's okay. I don't even remember what we went on a rant about. We was just trying to fill time. We was thanking the people for being in here. I think we still got 2 viewers.
It shows 3 right now. Yeah. You
We had
remember?
just started the. We okay. Go ahead.
You remember old dude that I did a build for that I told you about that I did the Resilient Sound Platinum 18s.
Yep.
Well, he just called me 3-way with another dude that just went over to the Treasure Point place where I used to work, and got ripped off, dude, like $3,000, and dude ended up with a bunch of bullshit. And I guess he got American Bass Hawk subwoofers and prefab box and CCA wire, all the dumb shit we've been talking about, bro. And he's supposed to get a hold of me tomorrow, so I may have a box build for us, Mike.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, he's
Because I
trying.
mean, honestly, if he's only running 2 American Bass Hawks, depending if he's 5K or less, he could probably get away with a good CCA wire.
Yeah, he's trying. So what he's got right now is the Hawks in a SPL.
Oh gosh, it's not even a good prefab.
Yeah, SPL Q bomb or whatever, and he said that he's got 4 gauge running from the. I couldn't really. They was both talking at the same time, but 4 gauge something, lead acid battery, no big alternator, none of that stuff, and he's trying to run a audio pipe. I think it was either a 3K or a 5K, and it just the stuff isn't working out at all for him. So
I wonder if that thing's got. I wonder if he's running like one of them 3Ks that calls for a 4 gauge power wire, and that's what they ran to it of CCA.
I don't know, but he said that he's already spent like $2,500, and the Tom dude told him to come back tomorrow or the next whenever you can, and we're gonna put. He said a rhodium wire is what the dude said that the car audio place was gonna put in there for him. I'm like, a rhodium wire? What in the
I
hell?
bet he means iradium, but
Mm.
ain't nobody paying for iradium wire, dude. That's better than gold.
Yeah, I don't fucking know, bro. Sounds like a big mess to me. It just
Yeah,
messed
you
my
need to tell him to
podcast
come
up.
to. You need to tell him to come fucking to the new Audio Connect's backyard.
Yeah, so my dude is supposed to call me in the morning, and we're supposed to go meet up with him, and I'm gonna take a look at his stuff and tell him
Alright.
what he needs, and we'll probably build him a box and get him set up. So
Yeah, we may even have some wire we can swap out for him.
yeah. But getting back on the subject though, I know I was
So
off
we
here for.
just we
Go ahead.
just kicked off about talking about fusing,
Yes, fusing.
and I was kind of going on about the different ways everybody fuses and why I fuse the way I do and for
Yeah.
safety, and then I was explaining how your team no fuse from the battery to the amp, where I usually fuse.
Yeah, I fuse my stuff where my fuses are to protect the wires.
And that's what we was
So
just getting into is fuse rating. Like
yeah.
I was trying to say, like if your amp calls for 400 amp fuses, you don't want to put two 400 amp fuses in your dual input.
No, because then you're ready for 800 amps of current.
Right. And that thing will let bad current flow through it before it actually pops. That'll probably almost
Yeah.
let a dead short through.
Yeah. Yeah, if your amplifier can handle, I mean, so let's say your amplifier can handle 200 amps, and it recommends you to put a 200 amp fuse on it. If you're running multiple runs, and you're like, okay, so it wants 200 amps, so every run that I do, I should put 200 amps. No, what you should do is if you run 3 runs, you want to divide the 200 amps by 3 runs, and then whatever that is, 80 amps or whatever, you'd want to do 80 amp fuses in each run, and that way if something happens and more than 200 amps goes through there, it's going to pop that fuse before it pops that before it
Before it does
pops the
anything.
yeah, before it pops the not alternator but the amplifier, sorry.
Or the alternator. Because, I mean, that's how you fry diodes in your alternator.
Yeah.
But we won't get into that. Alternators will be we'll talk about alternators on a different one.
Yeah. So how I run
So the
mine
way
is I got the alternator, big alternator, 320 or 300 amp alternator from Autotech. I got 3 runs that come off of that. My amplifier is good for around 1200 amps of fusing. So straight off the alternator, I got about 3-foot runs, and then I got a fuse block. There's 3 400 amp fuses in there. And then from there, I got a battery delete. And then from that, I got runs that go to the back. And then in the back, I got 2 400 amp fuses and then from there it goes directly to my CMAX bank, and then I wire all my amplifiers and stuff directly off of my bank. There's no fuses in between the battery and the amplifier. Is
Yep.
that the right way to do it? Probably not, but it's the
It's
way
not
that I do
wrong.
it. Yeah.
I mean, right's all in perspective, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
I kind of do the same. I got the 400 amp alternator, so I run 2 runs of 2 watt off of it because 1 run of 2 watts not good enough for 400 amps.
right.
In retrospect, hopefully I don't hardly ever see that, but still, if I ever do, I want to be able to. So I run 2 300 amp fuses up. I run 300 amp fuses up front at the distribution block because of the multiple alternators, and then when it comes in the back, I run 300.
What did we run in yours, Marcus?
350s.
It's 400 up front though, but I think it's 400 up front.
Oh yeah, it was 400 amp alternator.
Oh, you know what? When we was doing his all his stuff, we was thinking he was gonna put that 8K back in there as well too.
Right.
That way,
So
when
we
it-
went ahead and pulled my 400 amp fuses and
Yeah.
put them in there.
yeah, because even if you got a 400 amp alternator, if your batteries or amplifier can't pull up the 400 amps, you don't really have to have a 400 amp fuse on there unless you can pull that. Yes, your alternator can push 400 amps, but and me and you've talked about this a lot, Mike. Your alternator, say you buy an alternator from Autotech, JS, Ohio Generator, any of these guys. If you buy a 300 amp alternator, your alternator is not putting out 300 amps all the time. When the car's
Not
on,
even close.
it's not even nowhere close to that.
The third.
Yeah, it's only going to put out what it's demanded. So if your battery is really low, or you're pulling a big load from your amplifier and your banks and all that, and they're getting dropped down, then your alternator is going to kick in to level everything out. If you're already up here, the alternator is just going to match where you're at. It's not going to do the max power all the time. If it did, it would just burn it up.
Right. It would overcharge everything all the time.
Yeah, it would get hot and burn itself out and burn all the diodes out of it.
I mean, the last time I clamped my alternator with like a fully charged battery and no accessories turned on, it was only like 80 to 100 amps.
Yeah, last time I did mine, and everything was charged up, and I didn't have AC on or none of that stuff. It was doing like 40 amps, dude. And I didn't know this math then. That's why I'm talking about it, because I didn't even know then. I'm like, what the hell? I paid $500 for this alternator. It's supposed to be putting out 300 amps. And I'm getting this 20 to 40 amp bullshit. What the hell is going on? Once I got looking into it, I'm like, oh, okay. It only does what it needs to do. It's like your thermostat in your house. If your thermostat's set at 70 and it's 70 degrees in your house, your air conditioner is not going to run until it needs it. It's the same thing with the alternator. That thing's not going to push out power until it needs to.
Yep, that's the truth. And so to get mine I've never seen mine put out the 410 amps that it claims, but I have seen it do, like, I don't remember if it was a 380. I think it was like 384, but I had to burp a test tone and then burp it again and then burp it again until the battery reserve started going down.
Yep. And
then
by
once I dropped
everything
down,
was
that's
warm.
that's when it started kicking in.
Yeah. So say you was doing a cold start, car ain't been ran that day, and you switched out a battery that was half dead. You started that thing up, it probably would put, if it's a 400 amp alternator, if the battery can hold that much amperage and it needs it, shit, that thing, I guarantee that JS could put probably 420 to it.
The birth sheet came at 410.
Okay, yeah. So my Autotech is a 390, and the birth sheet was did I say 390 or 290?
390.
It's a 290. So mine's a 290 and the burst sheet was 310. So
Sounds about right.
yeah,
My Autotech 370 did 394.
for the edge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, on the edge. Well, yeah, that was the Autotech. I still have the Autotech. I'm probably just going to send it back in and get it fixed and try and put it in the Envoy.
Yeah, I wonder if they could put a different casing on it to.
Don't need it. I got that alternator bracket.
Oh yeah, you probably could just put it
Think
right
about it.
on there, huh?
The 400 amp alternators from the edge too.
Yeah, you made that thing work.
Yeah, so I don't see why I can't make that one work.
Yeah, I'm sure you could. A little bit
So
of
that's probably what
boombox
I.
mic ingenuity.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
So then we'll have a variety of alternators on the car.
Yeah, that's crazy as hell. I also
Yeah.
wanted to talk about batteries and stuff as well.
Okay.
I know that we was kind of on that subject. We was talking about the lead acid and AGM and when is it time to upgrade. Um, if you're running over 1500 watts, go ahead and go get you. And people hate on these batteries. I don't know why, because I've never had an ounce of bad luck with them. If you don't want to order something online, go over to your auto parts store and get you a red top or a yellow top, some type of Optima AGM battery. Anything that's AGM is going to be.
And buy it new. Don't
Yeah.
Don't jump on Marketplace and buy one for
Yeah.
50 or $60 if somebody's already ran in the dirt. Go buy you a brand new one with a 3-year warranty.
Yeah. And try to keep away. And, you know, this is perfectly fine, but this is just my recommendation. Try to keep away from like the Walmart stuff, the Walmart branded AGM stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
well-
it's an AGM, and I'm sure it's going to work for you. But is it going to do just as good as the name brand stuff that was built for it?
Mhm.
It may.
Here's-
It could. Who knows? But
I had 3 of the 100 amp Walmart AGMs, the biggest one they sell, and it did fine. But the problem is, they're for deep cycle. Not they want to take a charge more than they'll give a discharge.
yeah, they discharge
So-
a lot slower.
Well, and like I think come to find out now later in life, I know how to do the math and stuff. They were only like 100 to 150 amps output. So that's the you know how solar batteries and stuff is. They don't
Yeah.
want to give it up. They're made to give you a slow
Yeah,
discharge.
that way they
As
last.
to where an Optima, it's called they call it a high demand battery for a reason. Why do you
Yeah.
think all the off roaders use them for their winches and their
Yeah.
100 million peacock lights and like an Optimum battery is proven.
Yeah. Yeah, I
A lot
ran.
of people used to talk good about them back in the day.
Yeah, I ran an Optima battery in mine up front for the first 2 years I had my car.
Nothing wrong with it.
I ended up going exchanging it out for a new one because I had a warranty, and I put it in my wife's car, and she still got it in there. She's got the yellow top up front, and then she's got that little 50 amp hour bank in the back, that LiPo bank, and you guys have seen what it does. She can set it at the show and play all day long, dude.
Yep.
So I mean,
It's all about efficiency,
yeah.
which like people like us three, we took efficiency and we just kind of put white out over it.
Yeah, we want to be efficient, but we'd rather be loud.
We'd rather be loud for short periods of time.
Yeah, I want to be able to blow your hair around and tickle
Mhm.
you.
Yeah. Put smiles on people's faces. I'm about ready to build a tap out machine though.
With the van?
No, with the Envoy.
Oh, with the 318s deal?
Yeah. I mean, if we tuned that thing up there in the 40 to 50 hertz range, and let's say it peaked around 60, that's gonna hurt some. That's gonna hurt some feelings.
Well, I mean, if we just go with the formula that we was talking about, 2-to-1, 25, 50 up front, or 20 or 40, or 24, 44, or somewhere in that range.
Whatever.
You're going to be able to play deep down low and blow the hell out of people's hair and get windy. And then when you come up, you're going to have the bandwidth up to 50, 60 hertz range too. So, you really be hurting feelings no matter which way you go with it, big dog.
Yeah,
I
we're gonna be
only
hurting
tapped out
feelings
once in my
anyway.
life.
Yeah. And that's a little bit of a sneak peek for everybody. I know you guys always hear me on the videos talking about, you know, me and Boombox Mike and our goals are this and we're wanting to do that and, you know, so on and so forth. But little do you know, we've been, you know, in on the sidelines for the past couple weeks. He's been saving up money. We've been throwing designs back and forth. Just to put it this way, C-Pillar in the Envoy, 3 Crossfire C718s, tuned way down in the dirt down low and up top, tuned up high in the sky with all the power.
Got plenty of Stetson power.
Yep, unlimited power, baby. Unlimited power. With that big C-Max bank.
The whole bank will be here in about a week.
Yep, I'll be doing videos on that too. 90 amp hour C-Max coming in for the boombox.
No more watching voltmeters.
Riva says 5 people are watching.
Woohoo! Thanks, guys.
If you guys are currently watching, put something down in the comments. Say hello. If you got a question for us, put it down there.
Tell us where you're from.
Yeah, where are you guys from? Where are you tuning in from? Hell, we'd
Is
love to know.
anybody from Indiana?
Yeah, is anybody from Indiana? If not,
Or I'm super close to Ohio.
Yeah.
I'm like 5 minutes from Ohio.
yeah, are you guys in Indiana? Are you in the Midwest? Or are you we got some subscribers way out of here, bro? You in Florida or in Cali, New York? Where you at, man?
And if you happen to be from Florida, dude, my heart goes out to all y'all out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a travesty that you guys. I've got family down there that lives just south of Tampa, and thank goodness they made it.
Yeah, my wife has family down that way. Down southern. Yeah, they got hit hard.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I hate to think about it, but imagine how many base rides are gone.
Yeah.
I mean, not to mention people's Lamborghinis and Porsches and.
Yeah, I was watching some videos earlier right before the stream, man, and there's still people trapped in their houses and shit, dude. So.
Yeah, you watch Cletus. Did you watch his video where his house took the beating?
Papa T commented on there and said, "Turn your light on, man."
It keeps going out.
What's up, Papa T?
I'm sitting in the car, Papa T. Yeah, hey, I am sitting in the car if anybody wants to kind of check out what I got. We can't do no bumping, but...
Big shout out to Papa T, man. If you guys ain't ever heard of him, go over there and subscribe to his channel.
It's a good channel. You learn a lot over there.
Yeah, he just built a big C-Max bank. I think it was a 135, and it looked like it turned out pretty badass, man. But yeah, he goes live on his channel frequently as well, and I've been tuning in lately, and he's got some good content on there. So definitely go over and check out the homie Papa T.
I'm pretty sure that's the video. I watched a video on him on how to do my dual alternator setup.
Yeah, he was doing a video on it. That was
Did he got like a Trailblazer or an Envoy?
Yeah, he's got a Trailblazer.
Well, if he's on here.
Yeah, he's got a Trailblazer.
I bet that's the video I watched.
Yeah, he's got like the dual alternator bracket like you as well.
Yeah, it was the one that gave me enough confidence to actually do it.
Yeah, he ended up...
So thanks, dude. I appreciate it.
He ended up doing something with the Self-Excite, I think, from... oh, daggone it. They was the Self-Excite alternators from... not McMahon, not... daggone it. I don't know why I can't think of it. Brand X. Brand X.
Yeah, I slipped my mind for a second, too.
Yeah, he said that he's had really good luck with them things, man.
Yeah?
Yeah. You know, I hear people like, I watch YouTube videos and stuff and see people talking down on Brand X. But then, I swear to God, bro, every time I'm out at Slamology or out at a show, Excess Power, anything, everybody that has them always talks great about them. So it's like, I feel like you could go that way with any company, you know. So it's really hard to tell, you know. I've seen both sides of the fence. I've seen people say, "Hey, man, my stuff is great," and I've seen people say that they've had problems. I personally like the design. I like that X that they put on the Brand X alternators.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
know,
pick your brand and tell me that they've never had 100% non-return rate.
right? Yeah, I mean that it just happens, dude.
Everything's gonna happen, dude.
Yeah.
Especially when we get stuff shipped and UPS and FedEx don't give two flying. Are we keeping this PG-13 or is
Uh,
this adults only?
it's adults. I mean, I clicked on the thing where it's not made for kids, so
Okay, okay.
and
I don't want to be dropping f-bombs and like there be a 12-year
well,
old watching.
yeah.
I mean, I know we can't stop everybody, but
If it comes out, it comes out. It's not like this is for monetization or anything like
all
that.
right.
So
So at the beginning of the videos, we should go, "Hey, man, PSA. This is parental advisory. Boombox Mike does drop the f-bomb a lot."
well, and here's another thing too. I've learned this about podcast and YouTube videos in general. As long it's something like the first 5 minutes of the video, you don't want to say cuss words and stuff because that's usually where they pop you with the copyright or the you broke a rule or whatever for your monetization stuff. And this
Okay.
isn't monetized anyway, so I'm not really worried about it. We're just trying to connect with fans and talk to each other
Right.
and hang out.
Yeah.
But something about that 5 minute mark, don't cuss for 5 minutes or whatever. But
Yeah, I'll do my best.
Next time I'll be in the kitchen because I got my phone got to charge up and stuff. So my bad, Papa T. He
Yeah,
kept me
man.
turning the light.
I charged my phone up before we got on here. Sorry, I keep bouncing in and out, everybody. But my wife has been stranded in Indy, so I've been trying to keep in touch with her.
nah,
She
that's
is on the
okay.
way home. She's on the way home now. She's safe. They got it taken care of.
Good deal. Yeah, dude, I don't know what's
So,
going on with my camera. It's been flashing like the whole daggone show, man.
and you know what's funny, Jordan? I've sat out here in my car the whole time with the Wi-Fi on and not lost signal one time.
Oh yeah, it's been nice and clean the whole time, bro.
Usually, I can't sit out here.
And I actually was talking to Riva about this as well from the last time we did it, and when I was watching it out there on the TV. If we start doing this every week and it becomes a actual thing that we're going to be doing, I'll order a better microphone and I'll start or not microphone. Hell, I got a
You
good
got
mic.
good microphones,
Yeah,
homie.
I got all that, but
I'd probably throw down on a camera with you.
yeah, the little webcam thing that I use. If I could show it to you, I'd show it to you. But actually,
Nah, that's cool.
I think I can show it to you. Watch this. I'll show everybody.
I'd probably, I mean, I don't want to go buck wild, but I'd probably throw down a little bit of money on a decent camera for you, especially if you bought something you could bring down here. And
Let's see. There's got to be a way to do this now. Or
you flip the camera around the other way.
there we go.
Oh, you've got like a 1990s webcam.
There it goes.
It works.
It works, though. Yeah, we see it.
There it goes right there. It's a Logitech 1080p. It's just it's like 10 years old or some shit like that.
Oh, so it's like as old as my phone.
Yeah, it's like as old as your phone. All the other stuff that I have is updated, man. I got a nice computer, studio room, all that stuff, but I never really did a whole lot of podcast and video stuff, so I'm still kind of learning. I did see this thing where and I may end up being able to do that, but I got to look into it. There's a thing, I guess, where like if you have an iPhone and a certain program on your computer, you can actually plug your iPhone up to the computer and use the camera through the iPhone for your computer, like your webcam.
Well, that's cool because that phone's got one of the best cameras on it.
Right, so. But I'll probably order another webcam, something that just does a little bit better.
Or maybe a cheap GoPro.
Well, here's the thing: is if you're gonna get a GoPro, you gotta get like the GoPro, and even the older ones are still fairly expensive. And for the
are they?
Yeah, for the price of what I would spend on something like that, I could just get something else for cheaper than I
You could
would.
find
It's
like
fine.
the same thing in a China brand.
Yeah, China.
China.
China. I'm sure Walmart probably has this same webcam that I got, the Logitech one, for probably $50 or something, but it's the 2024 version.
Upgraded.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
probably works great.
Hey Marcus, that Stetson LED kit you put on today was dope.
Yeah, it was.
That was cool shit, dude. Did you catch how much it was?
No, it ain't for sale yet. I don't think. I
Ah,
can
okay.
So I was
I can look it
actually
up probably.
I was actually looking into that, Marcus, and you said something about you didn't know what all colors and stuff it had. That thing can do over 811 different color combinations.
Wow.
Yeah.
That thing's
Yeah.
gonna be expensive then.
Yeah, I watched the video and started looking into it. I'm like, dude, that thing's cool as shit. But yeah, I can do over 800 different color combinations. And it's got like 10,000 actual different color LED stuff in it.
No shit.
Yeah.
So it's like fucking badass.
Yeah, it's just as good as any of the other, RGB LED modules.
Stetson make a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah, they're the shiznit.
I've had good luck with all their products, and their customer service is off the hook.
I wish they made subwoofers.
Hey, their amp repair guy's pretty cool too. Shout out Sentinel Electronics.
Yeah, Papa T said use a GoPro as well.
Maybe we just might have to save up and get one,
Papa
man.
T, I hope I got enough light for him now.
Yeah, we can
Hope I
save
got
pretty
enough
good.
What are they?
now.
A few hundred? What are they? Maybe a few $100.
I mean, shit, we can look them up while I'm sitting here.
We might as well.
Yeah.
I know they're expensive, man.
Well, man, you got the deal on us some welding cable today, didn't you?
Yeah, man.
Like you got the deal of you got the deal of the year for sure.
Hey, Papa T, if you're still on there, man, check this out. I went and picked up 120 foot of 1/0 OFC welding cable for $150 today, dude. That's a deal. So the GoPro Hero 12 is $299.
Okay, that's not as horrible as what I was thinking then.
And I think that. So the Hero 11 is $239. The Hero
That's not
13 is $469. Yeah, it looks like the 239 one is. But then they got a China version called the Acaso that's $69.99.
I mean, for $70, it'd almost be worth trying. If we didn't like it, just send it back.
I'm going to actually look up this Logitech, the one that I have. Logitech.
You ever heard of
Cam.
TNT Technology subwoofers?
No, I have not.
Yeah.
Man,
I've never heard of them either.
Logitech has a really nice one that is 1080p full HD for $95. But then they have another one that's 1080p webcam for $36. I guess it just depends on what you want to spend. Because I mean, here's another one for $20. So it's like,
Yeah. I just thought a GoPro would be nice for shows and demoing and video purposes and
Right.
shooting
Yeah.
videos. And
yeah,
Right.
I'm just thinking, I'm thinking of it as a tool for the channel,
yeah, that would
not
be
just for
great.
podcast. Like that's something like, one of us could write off on our taxes. Well, you could because it's your channel, but
I mean,
we ain't gonna get into that. But yeah.
so what do you guys think about lithium?
I think if you're gonna fucking spend the money on I don't know, let's just say you're gonna go buy one of them red or yellow tops. I mean, they're $350, right?
Papa T says, man, that was a good deal. Man, it was, man.
Man, yeah. I can't believe it, dude. Especially by the time we split it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good deal, man.
So, what's one of them red tops? $300?
Yeah, they're somewhere around in there, depending on what size
I
you
think
get.
I think there's plenty of options of lithium that could suit just about anybody's needs from a beginner
Mm.
to all the way up to the advanced that you could get for right around that price, maybe just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Big Jeff Audio premieres the new Audio Pipe 18 subwoofers. Them are nice, dude. They look pretty
Yeah.
nice.
The new H. Oh boy.
I was after seeing those, dude. I thought about wanting to swap out.
Yep. Speaking of Big Jeff, the affiliate code is in the comments, guys. Go over and check out Big Jeff. Use our affiliate code AudioK5. We'll get you 5% off. And check out the Tip Top link. Trade in your old gear for new equipment.
Definitely check out the link.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What do you guys?
But yeah, like I was saying, like I just think for the amount of money that you're going to spend on one decent AGM battery, or let's even go a little overboard, and let's say you need like a D6500 or a D7500. How much are they? It's just $600 probably, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like what Basecat's got.
Yeah.
Man, for $600, you're definitely up there in any kind of lithium that you want to buy.
One of those LTOs, what they're about 400. Them deep.
See, there's a better option in my opinion. One of them LTOs.
Well, like the Down for Sound ones.
Mm-hmm. Now I don't know if one of those can replace one of them 1,000 cranking amp red tops, but
Man, hey, I don't know, dude. I had
I know
trouble
you're
with them,
thinking
man.
about it.
It's hard
Even when
to
you
say,
bought that
dude.
one, even when you
Yeah.
had that one on 2 8Ks, you could still demo.
I could, man, just not for very long, But
Well,
man,
it's because you see 13.9 and go, oh my God, turn it down.
yeah, I don't. I'm never into letting it get too low. I start getting paranoid.
Amps rated for 12.6, and he's like, oh my God, 13.9. Turn
Yeah,
it down. I got to rest, guys. I got to charge up 10ths of a volt.
yeah. I got charged.
It's
back
all right,
up.
buddy. I'm just hacking on you.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen me demo when it. Marcus seen me demo at 10 volts.
That's scary, bro.
Did my amp pop at 10 volts though, Marcus?
No.
Dude, the lowest that I ever let my voltage go was whenever I got that damn headway bank and it was messed up, had bad cells in it, and I was on the way home trying to bump. Dude, like it was weird because the rebound was real fast and I was going right back up to voltage and stuff, but as soon as that bass would hit, dude, I would go from 14.9 to like 10 volts, dude. Vroom, vroom.
Bottomed out.
Dude, it was so bad that like I could feel my car while I'm driving down the road. Like the bass would hit, and the car would go woo, woo, woo.
I've been there.
And the lights were like, dude, it was like almost shutting the car off, bro. And whenever
I've had systems that shut my car off.
yeah, and it's like, dude, whenever I try to tell Guy, like, look, man, there's something wrong. No, you just need a bigger alternator. You need this and you need that. I'm like,
You need
all
to go buy
right,
$200 worth of cheap
wire.
CCA wire and run it. You need
Yeah.
4 runs. What was the first thing I said was wrong?
You said, yeah, dude, it looks like there's something wrong with the bank. It seems like some cells are shorted out in there. No, man. It's because of this and because of that. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll go with your theory and then see what happens. A couple hours later, the car was smoking.
Stinking. How long did that shit stink?
For months, dude. You know how that
It
head
wasn't.
waste stuff
It wasn't.
is,
It
man.
wasn't like just blowing a sub and the car stunk for a couple days.
No, dude. It was in there for a long time.
It was horrible. And I know them cells stink. So
Dude,
that sulfury, that burnt sulfur.
Bro, I get in there sometimes and still smell it, dog. I'm over
That's one thing I can
exaggerating,
say. I like to get in my new car because for some reason my edge just held on to when my 10K caught on fire. It held on to that smell forever and never let go.
Yeah, dude.
And it was behind the wall.
It's funny, my 12K still, if you put your nose up to it, it still smells burnt.
It probably will forever.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's just
Like
where
my
it got.
10K, the same way.
It's just where them MOSFETs went up, and
When you burn yours, like when you was up there with Nate, Mike,
Do what? Huh?
you burned your when you burned your 10K, you was up there with Nate.
Um, the first time was with Nate. Well, not the first time. The second time was with Nate. The first time I did it, it happened 2 days after Slamology. I was just bumping mid grade on the way to work and it popped. But it was because I was demoing for you at 10 volts at Slam.
I get you, man.
And
I ain't know
then
no better back then. I
I
really
didn't care. I did at that point. You were like, to me, you were like a big YouTuber, and like, you know what I mean. I watched all your videos, so like, I was just thumping the shit out of it. And then I got it fixed from that. And then I was demoing for Nate, and my Autotech alternator went bad, and my 10K went up in smoke. Got it fixed from that, and then 2 weeks later, what happened? Oh, see, this is a learning lesson. I had a cheap lug on the end of the wire,
Oh man.
and it broke, and it fell down on the alternator casing and shorted out the whole distribution block and everything.
mm,
And the 10K was you could see flames coming out the fan.
mm.
Oh, daggone, what'd I do?
Luckily, you had
You
your
ended the
fire
stream, didn't
extinguisher.
you?
No, I didn't, but I was over here messing with stuff, and it's doing a thing where whoever's talking, it puts you like up in front, and then when I start talking, it switches, I think. I was just sitting here going through settings, fooling around.
Yeah, that's all right. So basically, this time when my HD 10K gets fixed, it'll pretty much have a entirely new everything in it, from MOSFETs to IC chips to RCA input, power supply, power output. The
Yeah.
amp will be all brand new pretty much, but the board.
Reva says promo codes Audio K5 at Big Jeff. Go spend all your money.
Spend all your money.
Mm.
Hey, and if you have to, remember they got all those buy now, pay later options.
Yeah, you can do that as well.
Yeah, don't forget that. Just make sure you pay for it.
That's funny. Reva thought that my screen flashing like that was an effect that I had turned on.
I don't know why it's doing it. It's just got a glitch in it for some reason.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. Before we started the stream, I, disconnected and reconnected 3 different times. I don't know what's causing it to do that.
So, back on subject a little bit. So for what, $150 or $175, you can probably build you can build like a 48 amp hour headway bank.
Yep.
Yeah, something
Which
like
that
that.
48
yeah.
amp hour headway bank ought to be good for,
5K.
I don't know. I was going to say give or take 5K, maybe not for long periods of time, but it ought to do fine on that 5K.
Yeah, sure.
So that's way cheaper than that's as cheap as pretty much as going to Walmart and buying a deep cycle.
Yeah, at
Mm.
that point, it's like if you have the means or whatever to get it, you get the headway, man.
Yeah, and here's the other thing, guys. Please stop doing this. I know there's only 5 aliens watching, but please quit leaving your lead acid battery under the hood and putting a $400 AGM, like an XS Power or whatever, like pick
Yeah,
your brand, in the back, because all you're doing is hurting yourself.
yeah.
You do not have to have people are under the assumption you have to have lithium to have it in the rear. That is not true. As long as you
No.
have some kind of battery in the rear and you got a power wire dedicated to run up to your fuse box to run your car, you're going to be just fine.
I mean, hell, bro.
Not only am I a base head, I'm a gearhead.
Look at these.
Every race car I've ever had, the battery went to the back.
I mean, look at these newer cars, man. Like we was talking about the other day, the Dodges and Chryslers and stuff like that. The battery is stock in the trunk with a big run of 1/aught wire that goes through the car up to the front to the fuse panel. It's like you don't have to have that lead acid battery under your hood.
No.
If you're gonna upgrade, get rid of that.
Yeah, get rid of it. Unless you're going to put a nice AGM under the hood as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, don't. I mean, you put a nice AGM up front, like a D3400. That's pretty affordable for everybody, and a D3400 in the rear. I mean, you could probably cover 5K under that.
yeah,
They make AGM options for every car.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Oh yeah,
yeah. Every car, every make and model out there, I would assume that there is some
yeah,
kind of AGM that can be fit in there.
yeah. I mean, excess power AGM batteries, dude. It don't matter what car you have; they have
Yeah,
a
they've got
battery for
something.
you. And realistically, bro,
So does Optima.
a lot of people don't really realize this though. You know, just because your car factory takes, let's say, a D55 or a Group 55 battery, that doesn't mean you have to run a Group 55 battery. If you can find something bigger that will fit in there, as long as it fits and you can tie it down and you can make all the connections right, you can do that. Like in my
Yeah.
car, it takes a little bitty battery because it's a Honda. It doesn't hold a real big battery. And hell, I bought that excess power D3400, and I just pulled off that plastic little tub that the battery sits in and used the actual little metal mounting bracket that's under that, and the thing mounted in there just fine. It fit perfectly, and I was
Yep.
able to double my output for my AGM stuff just by upgrading to a bigger size.
My Ford Edge called for I want to say it was like a R65 or something,
Yeah,
and I was able to put an R95 in it,
right.
like one of the big. I had a Duralast AGM in at the time, and it was the biggest one they had. And I just had to trim out just a little bitty bit of that front plastic for it to slide down in there.
Yeah. If I would have known that I could have even fit a bigger battery in, I would have bought like a D6500 instead of the
Yep.
3400. But I figured the 3400 should fit in there, relatively snug, and it's like twice the size of the factory battery anyway. The factory AGM, well, it wasn't factory, but the yellow top that I had in there was like, I think it was like 55 amp hours, whatever, 500 cranking amps. And then I got the excess power D3400 that was 3,000 cranking amps. And it was like I think it was like 110 amp hours. So like I doubled the amp hours just by upgrading the battery and getting the bigger one. Cause the excess power had the same AGM as my Optima, and it was rated almost the exact same, like 55 amp hours, blah 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 blah. But I went ahead and got the bigger one and was able to double the output. So think about that stuff too whenever you are upgrading your AGM. But like if you have a lead acid battery in your car and you're wanting to do audio, man, just go get you a AGM.
Mm.
If you're gonna spend the money on the system, spend the money to get you an AGM battery for it.
Good rule of thumb would be 100 amp hours of
Yeah.
AGM for the real 1,000 watt for a real 1,000 watt.
Yeah,
And a lot of people don't understand that. On some of the AGMs, it don't call it amp hours. It calls it what is that? I think it's called an RC rating.
yeah, something like that. I'm not 100% familiar with that, but I know what you're talking about. I've seen it before.
Yeah, and it's from a lot of your China brand stores. Your AutoZones, and it's not like going. If you go to like a real place like Interstate Battery, or you're probably going to get a better battery.
Somebody
You're
told
going
me
to
to
pay
try.
for it, but
I want
Somebody
it.
told me to try Royal King.
I would
I've heard
go ahead.
I've heard. Uh oh, my earbud died.
I was gonna say
Dang.
you cut out there for a second. So I'm jumping over on Big Jeff real quick. I want to see these audio pipe 5 stacks.
Yeah, they look nice.
I like this option that Big Jeff has on the website. So as soon as you go to the website, if you look at the top right hand side, there's an outline of a car, and you click on that and you put in your make, model, and year of your car, and it will automatically pop up everything that Big Jeff sells that's compatible for your car.
From
Radios.
door speakers to batteries to radios,
Dude, these new Big
audio K5.
Dude, these new Big Jeff audio fuse holders are nice, bro.
Go pick
Wow.
you up a fuse holder. They're nice. Audio K5.
Oh, Big Jeff is selling the Basehead garage meters too, bro. In stock.
How much?
Let's see.
Will you buy me one? Reva, will you buy us one?
They are
Please?
$89.99.
Okay, so they're the same price through him. He's not making nothing off of those.
So let's add this to the cart. I'm gonna show you guys what you can do. This is how this works. So you go to your cart. He offers shipping protection for $3 as well. Okay, so go to your checkout. So the total's 92. Let's see. Total's gonna be 90. Where are we at? 92.99. So down here where it says discount code or gift card, if you go down in here and put Audio K5 and apply that, boom, 5% off. So that brings your total. That pretty much just took care of the your tax.
That's a pretty good, I mean.
Yeah. Actually, it took
Okay.
more than that. So the garage watt meter is $89.99, and it came to $92.99 after tax and all that. But after you put in the discount code, it puts you back down to $88.34.
Nice. So it's tax plus a little bit?
And that's with getting the $3 shipping protection as well.
Nice. Hopefully Reva's going to buy us one.
Never know. Christmas is around the corner.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I want to check out these new audio pipe subs, man.
Maybe I could talk my wife into buying one and putting it in the saran wrap ball.
Yeah.
Well, he got them live, but he on his website.
Do what, Marcus?
The speakers, like, do he got them live or they're on his website?
Yeah, they're on the
They're
website.
on his website.
Yep, it's all good.
My wife made it home, Jordan.
That's good. That's not bad, dude. The audio pipe,
Yeah, holler at me.
audio pipe 5 stack
Podcast.
12s. The
We're getting ready to get done. You want food? I'm starving too. I don't want Little Caesars, babe. Anything else?
Yuck.
All right, we'll be down here in about 20 minutes, probably. All right, I love you.
So yeah, dude, them new 5 stack 12s are only $245.
For 18s?
No, for the 12s.
Oh. I was getting ready to say I'll sell my subs right now.
Yeah, I'm still looking for the 18s.
I thought I heard them before though.
Man, I got a demo a few years ago in a Cavalier that was walled off with 4 18-inch audio pipes.
Mm.
And it had shattered windows, and it had a shattered window, a shattered passenger window, and a blowed out. You know the little Ango windows in them? It was all taped up too.
Yeah, they get them. Them 18s get down.
So the 5-stack 18 is $428.
It's $100 cheaper than my sub.
How much water does it take?
They are
1,800.
1900 watts RMS. They look really nice too, man. Let's see.
I really think Audio Pipe's trying to step up their game.
Yeah. The FS
Because think about it, man. 10 years ago, Audio Pipe was a really good sub to buy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they've always been fairly good, man. Dude, the frequency response on that 18 is 25 hertz up to 1500.
Damn, it's only 25?
Yeah, the FS on it is 35.
Okay. It ain't horrible.
It's dual 3.6 ohm.
It's kind of weird, but okay.
They're dual 4s, but the specs
Right.
read 3.6. The VAS is 66 liters. I'm not for sure what that is in cubic feet.
66 liters is probably around like 5.5 to 6 cubic feet.
It's probably somewhere around in there. It's got a 4-inch voice coil.
Nice. Good job, Audio Pipe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That brings the X-Max down, though.
10 inches of mounting depth. Cutout diameter 17 inches. So I mean it's legit 18, man. Most 18s have a cutout dimension of like 16.
16.6 sometimes. Yeah, I think the Crossfires were even 16.8 or something.
Dude, the only thing that upsets me about this stuff with these new audio pipes is they don't have them in 10s, man.
What was that?
That was my phone vibrating. It was loud, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
And Jordan hates my phone so bad he's ready to give me one.
Yeah, I'm giving you one.
He said my cameras are horrible. He can hear it every time I touch the screen. It goes dead every 2 hours.
Dude, the crazy thing is they have the new Audio Pipe 10, but it's a quad stack. But it has the carbon fiber cone, and it's updated from the ones that Riva has.
Yeah.
Like, it looks exactly like the 5 stacks. Like, the same cone, same everything, but the magnet's 4 stack instead of 5.
Wonder if 5 stack was too much for a 10.
They just haven't came out with them yet. Whenever I talked to the guy at Slamology at the, he said that they were coming out with them. He said it'd be a few months, but...
It's been a few months.
Dude, what the real hitter is from Audio Pipe is the new BDX. So they have the 5 stack, but then they came out with a straight competition line called the BDX.
Is that the one Parker did a review on?
Yeah, Parker did a review on the 5 stack and the BDX, actually.
Yep.
I thought they don't have the BDX in 15s yet. That's weird. Let me look at this. This thing looks great, though, man. Audio Pipe 12-inch, 1500 watts RMS, dual 2.
There you go, Riva.
Yeah, that's what she needs, man. 375-ounce motor.
Dang, on a 12?
Yeah. The thing that eats me up is they have them in 8s, bro. But not 10s. They have them in 8s and 12s.
Well, you know why they made them in 8s, don't you?
Why?
It's because there's so many under truck seat builds going on right now.
Yeah.
which I think Big Jeff has under seat prefab boxes, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Audio K5.
Riva says, laugh out loud, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure what we can come up with sales money. I think she's replying to your
Yeah.
talking about the base head meter.
Maybe I can get my wife to throw in on it with your wife.
I mean, if it's something that you really think we should get for the channel, we'll throw down and get it, bro.
Hey, not only for the channel, but I think it, because like you got that kit, you can make a wiring harness for anything you want now, pretty much. So if we took and made a wiring harness, we just hooked the wiring harness up in each car, we could move the base head meter from car to car.
Yeah.
And we could use it for a tool.
Where is the tip top thing at? I wanted to show everybody that.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna have to bounce off here in a couple of
Well,
minutes, man. My
I mean,
wife just
yeah,
got home,
we,
and we went like an hour over.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
you're
you know,
right.
Mike, that's cool, Jordan. I mean, yeah, Mike, I just holler at y'all a little bit too, man.
All right, Marcus. I'll definitely holler at you tomorrow, buddy. Have a good night.
All right, Jordan.
All right, fellas. Well, I guess we're going to go ahead and end this thing off. If you guys made it this long, we greatly appreciate you hanging out with us. We will.
We appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
We will.
If you could reach up there and hit that like button, that would help out a little bit too, please.
Yep. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Smash that like button. Share it all.
We appreciate all the comments.
Yep, and share it all your favorite social media platforms. If you hung out with us all night, we greatly appreciate it. You know, we had a great time hanging out with you guys. We're going to be doing this every Friday from here on out. So, you know, be on the lookout for us on Fridays at around 7 o'clock. And, you know, we usually only anticipate it to go for an hour or so. But, you know, we was all having a good time and stuff. So we went ahead and went 2 hours into it. So, 7,
That's
8.
the normal conversation for us, though.
Yeah, we do this all the time. So, but, yeah, if you guys would like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to click the affiliate link. Go over to Big Jeff Audio. Use promo code AudioK5. That's AudioK5 and get 5% off your order. And, you know, that helps us out. It helps you out. Don't forget about the tip top. And then, you know, that's going to be it. You guys got anything else you want to say to the people before we head out of here?
We appreciate you guys watching. Shout out Big Jeff. Shout out Stetson. We love you guys. We'll see you next week. Stay tuned for content. We got a lot of content coming up. The boombox is getting ready to go through a makeover. Be sure to subscribe for that.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna do some pretty neat stuff. We're gonna show you guys a lot of homemade tricks, man.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna do a lot of stuff and show you that you don't have to go buy $400 and $500 parts to make stuff work.
Yep, for sure.
Other than that, keep basing on. Everybody, hopefully everybody in Florida makes it back to their houses and there's not too much loss out there, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, say a prayer for everybody down in Florida and down on the south side down there on the coast. Hope everybody makes it out okay. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this one. Y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.